became an athletic trainer because I grew up loving sports. My family is very involved in them, and I always knew I wanted to go into medicine. And I was deciding between physical therapy and athletic training, and I loved the different aspects of athletic training more, only because it's more than just rehab, which is pretty much what PT is. It's just rehab. We have emergency care aspect, which I really like, being first responders on the scene at sports. College, so I'll tell you what I had to do, and I'll tell you what's happening to the athletic training world. I had, my first 2 years were just gen eds and taking prerequisites, and then I went to Grand Valley, so we had to apply to our athletic training program, and you had to maintain a B in all your prereq classes, and then you applied to the program. You had to take a written exam, and then you had to take a practical exam. If you passed those, then you had to go through an interview process with the athletic training professors at Grand Valley. And then once you got in, it was 2.5 years. So it's 5 semesters. 4 of those semesters you're assigned a clinical rotation, so whether it's a high school, clinic, or a college. And then the 5th semester is an internship of your choosing. And I went to ESPN Right Global Sports for that. I love the relationships that I get to build with my athletes. It's a lot different than probably any other patient healthcare professional relationship that you'll see, just because we get to know our athletes on a more personal level, whereas PT, you maybe see your physical therapist once or twice a week. We see you guys every day. We're at all your sporting events. So that's probably my favorite part of my job, is just the relationships I get to build with athletes. Plus I get to be around sports all day long. Good question. I've had a few. I've had an orbital blowout fracture. I've had a tibia fracture. I've had a pretty interesting story about a concussion. And a 17-year-old boy, his symptoms were getting worse and worse, and there's just a gut feeling that I needed to send him. And it turned out, not only did he have a concussion, but he had a brain tumor as well. And the concussion was making it worse, which is why his symptoms were worsening in time. Those are probably the worst.